Ever noticed how, like, your simple sunscreen has kind of quietly become this in-your powerhouse? Or, get this, how a whole country's economy might get a lift from, well, just really good food.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you look closely.
Prepare for some mind-bending it. Welcome to The Deep Dive, our mission to unpack the most fascinating consumer trends and insights out there, give you a shortcut, to being really well-informed.
Exactly.
Today's Deep Dive, it pulls from the curated news commentary over at consumers.app, specifically their Consumers 360 News Commentary snapshot from June 21st, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We've basically taken this big stack of different sources and pulled out the most important nuggets just for you.
And it's interesting, the sheer breadth of topics today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going from, what's on your skin to the food on your plate, even the future of energy.
Sure.
And really hunting for those aha moments,
Yeah.
the practical stuff you can take away, and maybe some surprising connections too. That's what consumers.app does so well, I think. Pulling together all these varied sources, it lets us connect dots you might not expect, showing how innovation, culture, sustainability, they're all getting tangled up together in everything we buy and use.
Okay, let's dive in then, starting with skincare, something that affects, well, pretty much everyone.
Right.
This headline from College Times on MSN.com caught my eye straight away. Japan's high-tech sunscreens tap into skincare craze.
Yes. This is a big one. The key thing really is that Japanese high-tech sunscreens have sort of redefined sun protection.
That's so.
Well, they've gone way beyond just blocking UV rays. They're integrating these really advanced formulations with ingredients like hyaluronic acid, collagen, antioxidants.
Wow. All the good stuff.
Exactly. So it's not just stopping sunburn anymore. It's about anti-aging benefits, better moisturizing, basically turning sunscreen into this all-in-one skincare product.
That's smart. A 2-for-1 deal, really. But does that push the price way up? Is it still something most people can grab? And what about Japan's economy? Is this actually making a difference?
It really is moving the needle, yeah. The global demand for these things has given Japan's economy a significant boost.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. More domestic production. They're even opening factories overseas now. And it fits perfectly with, Japan getting record numbers of tourists.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them are specifically looking for these skincare products, buying them up. So it helps tourism, helps diversify the economy. They might be a bit premium, sure, but the demand, it's definitely there. The ripple effect is, substantial.
That's huge, just from sunscreen. But okay, it makes me wonder, with all these fancy, maybe synthetic ingredients, are there health risks, like allergies or irritation?
That's a really crucial point. And some recent research does highlight potential risks with certain synthetic cosmetic ingredients, allergic reactions, skin irritation. Studies are really emphasizing natural or organic ingredients more now to minimize those risks because things like parabens and sulfates, they can potentially mess with endocrine functions, cause skin sensitization.
Right.
So, innovation's great, but safety's got to be number one, always.
Okay, so if there are risks, we'd need a way to spot problems fast, right? Are manufacturers doing anything innovative to track reactions beyond the old ways?
Absolutely. Social media is actually becoming vital here.
Really? How?
Well, researchers are using text mining, sentiment analysis, basically scanning user comments and posts to gather real-time data. They can spot potential safety concerns, trends in allergies or side effects way faster than before. It gives manufacturers, regulators, too, actionable insights to improve safety on the fly. It's adapting constantly based on what people are saying online.
That's fascinating, using social media chatter for safety.
Wow.
I also saw something in the notes about hypersensitivity risk assessments for humans and, surprisingly, dogs. What's that link?
Yeah, that's right. Type IV hypersensitivity. It's basically a delayed allergic reaction. Think poison ivy, it doesn't show up right away.
Oh, okay.
So reapplying these risk assessments for both humans and canines helps standardize safety across the board. Understanding how skin sensitization works allows manufacturers to make safer products, for us and our pets. Setting the right limits for allergens. It's about making the safety net wider, really.
Safer for us, safer for Fido. My dog would appreciate not getting a sunburned nose, for sure. And what about the planet? Are these high-tech sunscreens eco-friendly too?
Many of them are aiming for that, yes.
Yeah.
Japanese companies are often using ingredients that are reef-safe, environmentally friendly, like non-nano zinc oxide.
Right, I've heard of that.
These formulas are specifically designed to minimize harm, especially to coral reefs, tackling those concerns about chemical sunscreens and bleaching. It's a definite step towards more responsible products.
So the big insight here seems to be this move towards hyperfunctional products, doing more than one job, changing what we expect, and creating these big economic waves globally.
Exactly.
Understanding this matters to you, the listener, because it shows how your demand for products that do more isn't just changing your routine, it's actually shaping global economies. And that's a theme we'll see again as we shift from skin to the palate.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of global influence, our next story takes us somewhere culture really comes alive on the plate. Malaysia. Headline from the week on MSM.com is Malaysia's delicious food and glorious beaches.
Oh, yeah. Now that sounds like my kind of trip.
Oh, it absolutely should be. Malaysian cuisine is just unique. It's a direct reflection of the country's mix of people. You've got Malays, Chinese, Indians, indigenous groups, all contributing.
Wow.
It creates this incredibly rich food tradition, blending Malay, Chinese, Indian, Indonesian, Thai, Filipino, Bornean flavors. Plus, you get hints of Arab, Portuguese, Dutch, British influences too.
That's a lot going on. It really is. A true melting pot. You get dishes like laksa, chicken rice, things that are popular all over, even shared with places like Singapore because of shared history. I had this laksa in KL once. Just mind-blowing layers of flavor.
Okay, you're making me hungry. So many cultures on one plate. Is there research on how they keep all these diverse ingredients safe, especially focusing on natural stuff?
Yeah, there is. Recent studies are really focusing on natural and safe ingredients, highlighting concerns about synthetic additives.
Right.
There's a definite shift towards using natural bioactive compounds, things that minimize health risks but still enhance food safety. And exploring innovative tech, too, to improve quality and safety, rely less on synthetic preservatives, more sustainable practices.
If you look at Malaysia on a map, it's right there in the middle of Southeast Asia. Does that mean its food shares a lot with its neighbors?
Oh, definitely. Malaysian food has really strong ties with Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines. You see shared dishes like satay, rendang. They're great examples.
Oh, okay.
It's all down to historical migration, close cultural connections, this exchange of recipes, cooking styles. It creates this amazing fusion. Flavors that feel familiar, but also totally distinct. It's delicious proof of how connected the region is.
This reminds me of that growing trend. Personalized nutrition? Are we seeing advances there, like food recommendations tailored to your health?
Yes, actually. One really interesting development is something called Market to Dish.
Market to Dish.
Yeah, it's basically a personalized recommendation system. It links recipes with your health profile to give you tailored dietary suggestions. The goal is to help combat diet-related diseases, by offering personalized nutrition plans based on your specific health needs. It's a big step in preventative health, bringing it right into your kitchen, basically.
That's a game changer for people managing health issues or just trying to eat better. And speaking of health, what about food allergies? Any trends in managing those?
Innovation there, too. Developing new anti-allergic agents using natural bioactive compounds. A study from 2025 looked at current meds and natural ingredients, focusing on things like how they bind allergens or regulate immune responses. They're even exploring combining traditional drugs with natural agents.
Interesting.
Yeah, to boost effectiveness, maybe reduce side effects. It could lead to combination therapies that make eating out much safer for a lot of people down the line. So the aha moment with Malaysia, it's like a living lab showing how cultural exchange literally shapes our plates. A masterclass in fusion, but also innovating for our future health.
Right.
It helps you understand how global influences affect your own food, sure, but also this exciting future of personalized nutrition and better allergy management that's unfolding.
That leads perfectly to our next spot. Another amazing food destination. National Geographic highlights it with this title, Why Puerto Rico Should Be Your Next Food Destination. Now, this sounds really interesting.
It absolutely should be on the list. Puerto Rican food is this vibrant mix. You've got influences from the indigenous Tainos, the Spanish Criollos, and sub-Saharan African cultures all coming together.
A real blend.
Exactly. And it's created these really distinct dishes that are getting international buzz now. Plus, since it's a U.S. territory, there's some American influence layered in, too, adding another dimension. The whole trend of exploring diverse cuisines, that's definitely boosting interest.
I've heard about food pairing. You know how some flavors just click? Is that science at play in Puerto Rican food or more tradition?
It's actually both. And get this, there's also this idea of food bridging.
Food bridging? What's that?
It's fascinating. It's where ingredients become compatible through, a chain of flavor links, even if they don't directly pair well themselves. So you combine that with traditional food pairing mixing ingredients with similar chemical compounds to boost flavor. And that's what makes the cuisine so unique. It creates this rich tapestry of tastes and textures. Complex, but also really harmonious.
Wow, that's deep flavor science. So what are some classic dishes that really show off that Afro-Caribbean heritage?
Oh, definitely mofongo.
Okay.
That's fried plantains mashed up with garlic and pork cracklings.
Sounds good.
And arroz con dulces, rice with pigeon peas, seasoned with sofrito. These dishes really highlight using indigenous ingredients alongside African-inspired cooking methods. It's a real taste of the island's history.
And how much does Puerto Rico's broader history play into its food?
Massively. Its history as a Spanish military base, then a big sugarcane producer that brought all sorts of diverse influences that got woven into the local food culture.
Right.
You see it in the ongoing use of things like plantains, yams, various spices. It creates dishes that feel both ancient and somehow really innovative, a true reflection of its past.
So are scientists actually studying these complex flavor combinations in Caribbean food?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Recent scientific studies are using things like network analysis and big food databases to map out ingredient combos.
No way.
Yep. They're analyzing how ingredients get paired up globally, and it highlights these unique patterns you find in Caribbean dishes. This research shows the intricate connections defining regional tastes, really showcasing the complexity, including Puerto Rico's.
And it all circles back to the indigenous Taino culture, right? That's the foundation.
Absolutely. The Taino culture is fundamental to modern Puerto Rican cuisine, using native ingredients like cassava, yuca, tropical fruits, plus traditional cooking methods. It's all still there.
Amazing.
These elements were preserved, integrated into today's dishes. They form the very bedrock of Puerto Rico's amazing culinary heritage.
It really makes you think about the stories behind your food, doesn't it? How history literally flavors our meals. Hopefully this inspires you, the listener, to seek out those kinds of experiences.
Definitely.
And speaking of how things are flavored or maybe unflavored by smart choices, our next topic looks at the surprising economics of food waste. Headline from Express and Star says, new food waste contract could save $1 million across Staffordshire.
Right, and the aha here is realizing that food waste isn't just trash. It's a resource.
It's a resource.
Yeah. Treating it that way unlocks huge economic savings and big environmental wins. It can transform local economies, help fight climate change, all at once.
Okay, unpack that. How does a contract save money?
Well, setting up a proper food waste disposal contract cuts down on landfill costs, reduces incineration costs. Both are expensive. Plus, you can potentially generate revenue by recycling it or recovering energy. For Staffordshire, they're projecting savings up to £1 million. That's money they can then reinvest locally, in services or infrastructure. It's a lot of cash.
£1 million is definitely nothing to scoff at. Money aside, what about the environmental side? How does better waste management help there?
Big impact. Right. First off, less waste in landfills means fewer methane emissions. And methane is a really potent greenhouse gas, much worse than CO2 short term.
Right.
Plus, processes like composting or anaerobic digestion, they turn that waste into useful stuff. Compost for soil, biogas for energy. It fosters a circular economy, less reliance on fossil fuels.
You mentioned anaerobic digestion. Tell us a bit more about that. Sounds key.
It is a crucial technology, yeah. Anaerobic digestion basically uses microorganisms in the absence of oxygen to break down organic waste. It produces two main things: biogas, which is mostly biomethane, and digestate, which is this nutrient-rich sludge you can use as fertilizer.
So you get energy and fertilizer.
Exactly. The biogas can be used for heating, electricity, even fuel for vehicles. It's renewable energy from waste. It really contributes to energy sustainability.
Sounds brilliant. But I guess turning trash into treasure isn't super simple. What are the hurdles to making these contracts work?
No, it has challenges. Logistics, for one. Collecting and transporting waste efficiently from all over. Then there's the upfront cost you need. Significant infrastructure investment.
Makes sense.
Plus, getting the public on board, making sure people actually participate, and navigating all the environmental regulations. It takes a coordinated effort. Really, local government, businesses, the community, all working together.
So how do local governments get people involved? What works?
They use a mix of things. Big education campaigns explaining the benefits. Maybe subsidies or tax breaks for businesses that adopt good practices. Providing free or cheap composting bins helps. Making collection points really easy to access. It boils down to public engagement and making it convenient.
And the wider community impact.
Yep.
Beyond the savings, what else do people gain?
Well, successful programs can create jobs in waste management, recycling. It improves public health, cleaner environments. It encourages community involvement in sustainability.
Right.
And ultimately, it makes the community more resilient, better equipped to handle environmental and economic bumps in the road, builds a stronger local foundation.
Any cool new tech popping up in this area to tackle food waste even better?
Oh, yeah. Things like advanced sorting systems to get more out of the waste stream, smart bins with sensors to optimize collection routes.
Smart bins.
Yep. And new ways to convert waste into high-value stuff like biofuels or even bioplastics. The tech is always aiming for more efficiency, lower costs, and getting the absolute most out of that waste resource. It really hammers home how local actions, like managing food waste better, can ripple outwards with big economic and environmental benefits, affecting everything from your kitchen bin to the whole region.
That's a powerful connection, and it leads us perfectly into our final segment, energy. Specifically, the future of it. Our last headline, this one's from USA Today, says, this energy source emits water instead of greenhouse gases. Michigan may be a hub for it. Talking about hydrogen, I assume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the key takeaway here, the hydrogen economy isn't just about a new fuel type. It's a fundamental shift in how we power the really tough sectors to decarbonize.
Oh.
It's going to need massive innovation, global teamwork to really unlock clean energy for the future. So the hydrogen economy, it basically means using hydrogen alongside low-carbon electricity to slash greenhouse gases.
Right.
The big goal, replace fossil fuels.
Right.
But important difference, most hydrogen today is gray hydrogen, made from natural gas, which still creates emissions.
Ah, okay. Not perfectly clean then.
Not yet, not most of it. The real aim is low-carbon hydrogen. That's blue hydrogen, where they capture the emissions, or ideally green hydrogen made using renewable energy. That green stuff is less than 1% right now.
Wow, tiny fraction.
Yeah. The idea is to use this clean hydrogen in the hard spots heavy industry, long-haul transport, things that are tricky to electrify directly.
So green hydrogen is the ultimate goal for hitting carbon neutrality. Why is it so much better?
Pretty much, yeah. Green hydrogen made by splitting water with renewable electricity. It's crucial because its production doesn't create those emissions.
Gotcha.
Its main use cases are in those hard-to-abate sectors. Steelmaking, shipping, maybe long-term energy storage. It's seen as absolutely key to reducing fossil fuel dependence, trying to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So yeah, pivotal for climate goals.
But hydrogen, isn't it really hard to store? It's so light and flammable. What are the solutions people are looking at?
Storage is definitely a major challenge. Capacity, controlling how it's absorbed and released.
Yeah.
Traditional methods are compressing it or liquefying it, but those take a lot of energy, a lot of space, not ideal for widespread use.
So what's new?
Well, some promising research is looking at materials like functionalized graphene, nanostructured graphene for solid-state storage. That could be a real breakthrough, overcoming current limits, making it much more practical.
Okay, interesting materials science there. Which countries or regions are really pushing hydrogen development right now?
China and the European Union are definitely leading the pack. Both have these big carbon neutrality goals, 2060 for China, 2050 for the EU.
Ambitious.
Very. They're both pushing hydrogen in those hard-to-abate sectors, using flexible, decentralized production, storage, tailored to what resources they have locally, strong policy incentives, trying to create industrial synergy. It's all part of boosting energy security and driving that global green transition.
And the headline mentioned Michigan. Why Michigan? What makes it a potential hydrogen hub?
Michigan's got a few things going for it. Abundant renewable resources, potentially. Its strategic location, right in the industrial heartland. Plus, existing infrastructure for renewables and manufacturing.
Okay.
Becoming a hydrogen hub could really position Michigan as a leader in this new energy economy. Big potential for economic benefits, jobs, innovation, while pushing clean energy forward.
How does hydrogen fit in with solar and wind? Is it separate or do they work together?
They definitely work together. That's key. Advances include things like integrated planning for both the electric grid and hydrogen pipelines.
Ah, connecting them up.
Exactly. Making the whole system more efficient, cost-effective, using fuel cells to turn hydrogen back into electricity when needed, and electrolyzers powered by renewables to make green hydrogen in the first place.
Yeah.
That's how you leverage hydrogen as this flexible, clean energy storage and power source, part of the bigger renewable picture.
So, looking big picture, what kind of economic impacts could we see from shifting towards hydrogen?
Potentially huge impacts, creating whole new industries, new jobs, boosting energy security, reducing reliance on volatile fossil fuels, driving massive technological innovation, infrastructure investment.
Sounds great, but what's the catch?
Well, It needs really careful planning, huge upfront investment, strong, consistent policy support. There are big challenges, too. The initial cost of producing green hydrogen, building out storage, transport infrastructure, it's a massive undertaking.
It really makes you think, though. This energy source, hydrogen, it seems kind of abstract, but it could fundamentally change, well, almost everything. Our cars, factories. And it seems vital for the planet's future.
It really could be transformative.
Wow, what a journey today. From like those tiny innovations in Japanese sunscreen, the incredible food fusion in Malaysia and Puerto Rico, then shifting to the huge scale of food waste economics and the game-changing potential of hydrogen.
Quite the range.
This deep dive into consumer trends has been packed with surprising stuff, hasn't it? We really hope it's given you that shortcut to being well-informed, maybe sparked a few aha moments, showing you how innovation, culture, sustainability, they really are all connected in our daily lives.
It is all about seeing those connections, isn't it? Global supply chains, environmental impact, how these different threads weave together in unexpected ways.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you continue your learning journey wherever your curiosity leads you next.
And maybe something to mull over. Considering how fast it's changing technology versus health, sustainability, how might this convergence redefine what value even means to us as consumers in the next, say, 10 years?
Ooh, good question, Pon. Info. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Consumers 360 for more deep dives into the world around us.